soothing music can only mean one thing. And Groovi. Yes, it's Clarity and Groovi are in the building for another one-day special. We have a Groovi master, as it were.
Okay.
Well, you are, though, aren't you?
I've not been called a Groovi master, but I quite like that.
You like that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you are the Groovi master.
Okay.
Aren't you party to the world?
Not to the world.
Well,
I'm in our house.
I'll give you it. I'll give you it. You can be parch master to the world.
Cool.
There's not many of them. It's a technique that's, well, let's go all the way back.
Okay.
Because when you think of parch, if you've never seen Groovi before, we'll get to it. But parching itself, when you think of parching, you think hard work, takes forever.
Yes.
If you mess up, you'll never be able to get it back.
Yes.
Stuff that you just go, it's laborious. But with Groovi, you've taken out all of that.
What we've done is taken out the first obstacle, which is for several of the reasons that you've mentioned. Even confidence, having the confidence and the know-how, the knowledge, and the time, all right? So what we've done there is taken away that first obstacle and helped to be able to put that line art onto your parchment. There you go.
Told you she was a Groovi master. Groovi master. But what it's just tracing is all we're doing now.
Yeah, it is, and we've got the little tracks, so it's easier than tracing, in fact.
Oh yes, because you just follow the line. You literally just follow a groove.
We've got the groove.
That's why it's called Groovi. Are you with me? We're busy already for these. I've not even told you about them yet.
Should we say what we've got?
A brand new Groovi bundle is what we've got here as well. I'll do the boring stuff first, and I'll hand it over to Maria. 699382 is your item number. £31.95. You're saving £8 on these. This is not a pick and nix. This is not pick your favourite 2. This is not pick your favourite 3. You are getting all 5 A5 plates, and in theory, if you look at the price and look at the saving, it's 5 for the price of 4. You've given Technicals 1 free.
We like a bargain.
Oh, we love a bargain here. So what is this collection that you bought us?
Okay, so this is Magic Moments collection, which was designed in-house by Melanie Turner. So what you can see here is a beautiful collection of just, well, magical moments. We've got the beautiful fairies. We've got also some kitties on there as well. This is just a beautiful, beautiful collection with some beautiful wording on there as well. These are going to mix and match beautifully because you've got various frames on there as well. You can take the fairies out. You can just use the words. You can just use the fairies. You can just use the frames. The possibilities are endless with this beautiful collection.
They really are. And remember, don't see the plate for the plate. I was saying this last time I worked with old Dame Barbara. She should be Dame by now. That you can use each of the plates, like just take one element from one and use it with another element from another.
All you're actually doing here is increasing your versatility and your designs by increasing the plates that you've got. The more plates you've got, the more designs you've got. It really, really is.
But look at the detail and the design. You can now achieve. You
can. So this is from Carol. That's a really lovely one. And if you actually count this, she's got 4 kittens. Only when I looked at this sample and went, oh, there's a 4th kitty cat there as well. There's one on her knee asleep.
Oh, I thought that was a dress.
No, it's not a dress at all. No, it's another kitty. Yeah, there's 4 of them.
But now, for example, you can take, so once you've got the plate, you can take this cat out.
Yes.
And just have it as the C.
You can.
You can then put this cat, if you wanted to, into this image.
You
Not
can.
That you would, but you can if you want to.
Well, one of my demos tomorrow, I've actually pulled some of the kitties out and used them on a completely done, just mix and match the plates together.
Which is what I like. Then, I know you're not allowed favourites, it's only the 3rd one I've seen, but so far, each one has been my favourite.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
It really is, isn't that absolutely fab? So what Frances has done here is she's taken the beautiful fairy and the pickled tink.
Well,
right, so that's her name now, Pickled Tink. And then you'll see the beautiful border there as well. Just such a lovely piece. That would be great for a little girl. Could be good for, if there's a new baby girl come along, if there's a christening, or just if somebody just likes pretty fairies.
10% of the stock has already gone. 10% stock have already gone, and we're only 4 minutes into the first live hour. I just want to quickly show you one more.
Yeah, another by Glynis. This last one was Glynis as well. So beautiful. And then what Glynis has done here is you'll see a big toadstool there as well.
Yeah.
So mixing and matching with plates that Glynis has already got.
Oh, Glynis, well done. Absolutely beautiful is what we're looking at here. £31. There is more samples to come. They are absolutely beautiful. We will go through them all. 699382 is your item number. £31 and 95 pence. A brand new bundle is what we're looking at, and we're very, very busy. And we're very busy across the world. Ooh. In all 3 corners.
3 corners.
I'm very big in 3 corners of the world. Very, very big. And they're all watching this evening.
Okay.
So we've got people buying in America, we've got people buying in Europe, and we've also got the United Kingdom as well, all buying our Groovi Plates. £31, 95 pence, 699382 is your item number. Now, and brand new bundle. Now, you may have seen these individually before. You've never seen them in the bundle that we're currently doing at the moment. £24 and 98 pence. A4 square sets is what you're getting. You're getting 2 nested squares extensions, and well, you get a bit of everything in these.
You absolutely do. This is a really fabulous bundle, and it's 2 of the plates that tend not to get put away in my house because they're used all the time. So we've got Jane's frame there, and then we have got the extension, square extension plate. So what we've got is the different size. If you look at the frame, you'll see there's a frame on each, can't you, with the lovely corners.
Yeah.
Okay, they're different sizes. So sometimes you might want the big piece, sometimes you might want a small one. Then of course we've got the different greetings there as well. Again, we've got a different size and a different size on the alphabets, and then on the smaller frame, which is the extension, yeah, that's right, then we've got larger nested squares there as well. So those are an extension of the nested square plate that we've actually got in the starter kit. So it means we've just got lots more sizes of nested squares.
And we'll talk about the starter kit when we go and sit down at the table, because I've also got one in front of me there. Yeah. But you're looking at both brand new bundle here, £24 98 pence. 826978 is your item number for these. Just look at what you can achieve though. It's the borders that you get that give you the depth and the beauty.
Yeah, very much so, because the thing is sometimes people struggle for composition, how to lay a card out or a project out. And if you've got a frame to start with, it really does kickstart your sort of imagination. These are also, I mean, isn't that lovely? And the thing is, these frames are going to go with whatever Groovi plates that you've got. Also, because of the frame, these will sit beautifully within frames, because we don't always, I like to put Groovi work into frames to give, so that they'll hang on a wall or whatnot rather than just on cards. So these are beautiful to go in box frames.
It's worth doing. It's worth doing if you've never done it before. 826978 is your item number, £24 and 98 pence. Nested arches. Now you get the best of both worlds with these, because you're getting dies and you're getting the corresponding Groovi plate that goes with it as well. Why would we need both?
Okay, because well, these are going to work together or separately, okay? But when we're using them together, what we've got is we would die cut the parchment so that you've got the beautiful arch shape, and then you would use the Groovi plate to then be able to emboss the frames on there as well.
Okay.
And then of course the dies, they don't just cut parchments, they are excellent quality fresh cut dies from Clarity. So they will also cut your cardstock and your paper stock and so forth as well, and thin fabric and that sort of thing. So they're not just for if you like Groovi. So here, for example, Glynis.
I knew I'd do this, Glynis. I knew I'd take it. And
keep an eye on him, Glynis. Keep an eye on him. So the tag here, what Glynis has done, she's actually die cut a piece of card for the background. She's die cut the parchment, and she's die cut the beautiful designer paper behind as well. And it's all lined up beautifully because it's all been cut with exactly the same die. So it's all precision, it's all very professional looking, it's very neat, very, very cool.
It is indeed, and very busy. £25 98 pence. 980280 is your item number. Edwardian Plaques Connects. We're very busy across the board, is what we are. We're very busy for your one-day special as well. Once again, same system, but in sort of plaque form, as it were.
Yeah, exactly. So these really, really lovely. So this is the Edwardian Plaques. So again, we've got the same format. We've got the fabulous nested dies, and we've got the Groovi Plate as well. So these are cool. Now the thing is also, these won't just cut just the die. So if you look on here, so I think Paul's done this. He's good. He likes to do display boards. It's great. So those are the 4 sizes of the Edwardian Plaques, just die cut as they are. But also they're so versatile. Imagine, for example, if we cut this, the first one, the largest one, okay, that's it, that's the biggest one. And then if from inside there we cut the next size down or the second size down in the middle of that larger piece, then we've got a frame. Yes. As well as, so these, just play with them and just figure out the different, you know, compositions that you can come up with. They're very cool.
They are indeed, and they're so versatile with what you can do with them. £25.98, 847664 is your item number. We're very, very busy across the board. You are loving this, but your one-day special, nearly 20% of the stock now has already gone, and you've only just seen it. It is brand new. And as it's brand new, why don't I give you a little bit more inspiration? Yes, indeed. There is so much you can do when you get these. And remember, you're getting 5 plates, basically for the price of 4 is what you're getting as well. And remember, you can mix and match them as well, which I really, really love. So in theory, you're not actually getting 5 plates. You're getting an infinity amount of plates because there's so many things that you can swap and change them with.
You're certainly getting an infinity of design possibilities.
Yeah, you really are. Well, and let's see how it all works.
Okie dokie, right, so we're going to work towards this. If I give this to you, Adam. So Karen Jackson helped me a little bit with my prep. So this is one of her projects. So this is the lovely catnap.
Look at that.
Isn't that beautiful?
It is absolutely stunning. If you're liking the background papers as well, they're also on the show. Check out the website for those as well.
Indeed. Rightio. Okay, let's make a start. So I'm going to switch my light panel on. Okay. Here we go. All right, I'm going to bring it up nice and bright. So I've got a piece of parchment here. So what I'm going to do is just I'm going to put a frame in first. So we talked about the frames that we've got on the show. So I just want to make sure I'm putting the correct frame in place before. Always check. Okay, lovely juggly. So
10% of the stock of the frames now has already gone as well. Remember, it's a brand new bundle. 10% of the stock of the frames has already gone, and we're very busy on your one-day special as well for that. £24.98 for your frames. Let's see how the frames actually work.
Right, okie doke. So I'm just going to take a couple of Groovi tabs. So I'm going to christen a couple of new ones. These are in the accessory pack, which is on the website. So within the accessory pack, you've got the Groovi tabs, which are repositionable and reusable. You're going to get your Groovi guard, which I'm also going to use here as well. And you get to top up your parchment as well. There's a full pack of translucent parchment in there as well. So I'm going to give this a little wipe with a tumble dryer sheet. Okay, now this is also in the starter kit when we have a little look at that shortly. All right, and what that does is it helps the tool glide around easily. So I'm going to use my Pergamano tools that I've got here. If you're just starting out, then you've got your starter kit tools, which are numbered, so you'd use number 1, all right? But that's all in the instructions anyway. Okie dokie. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to double check again because I've been having a little yak, and it's always good to double check, isn't it? I think. There we go. Rather than get it wrong. There we go. All right. So I'm going to come in with this frame. As it happens, it doesn't make that much difference. It just means I'll have a larger frame. So all I'm doing here is I'm holding my parchment down with my Groovi guard, so it keeps nice and still and nice and flat. Okay, and I'm just embossing my frame. Now, I could use anything here. I'm just using it as an outside frame. I could use it to make an actual sort of aperture frame. I mean, we've got one on this plate anyway, and it's really lovely. I could make a larger one though, because we've got these extension squares now as well. So this is one of the most versatile plates with the Jane's frame as well. So they don't get put away in my house. Okay, so I've just, for this, on this occasion, I'm literally just want a nice square. Okay. A good size square. All right, so I'm going to come in now with my plate mate from the starter kit. And I'm going to bring in one of the Magic Moment plates. So this is the catnap.
20% gone now of your one-day special. 20% has gone. 699,382 is your item number. £31 and 95 pence. You're saving £8. So remember, with that £8 that you're saving, you are getting one of these plates for free. So in theory, you are getting 5 plates, but you're only paying for 4 of them. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to stick my plates down. Okay, I'm going to come back in with my Groovi guard just to hold things down. So I've just lined up and made sure that my design on my catnap plate is sitting nicely within the square that I've already put in place. Okay. So it's just elongated my frame basically. Okay, so I'm going to give this just a nice press. Okay, don't be frightened to press on the design because that's what's going to help you stay within those little grooves. Okay. And it'll give you this nice consistent white. So we just glide around the design. Now when I'm working on little small details like this, I just slow myself right down so that I can get every single tiny little bit of the detail. Okay? But you are literally just, if you've never worked, most of you have, but I'm going to play devil's advocate and say that you have never used Groovi before. With Groovi is one of those systems where you literally follow the groove. You absolutely do. So the plates are precision etched. They are deep enough etched that you're going to get this very beautiful crisp white, but you kind of got a safety net built in because they're not deeply enough etched that you can kind of, you go a long way to get to put your tool through and tear your parchment on a Groovi plate. You really would. It's really fabulous. If you have struggled with, if you struggle with tracing and that sort of thing freehand, which is the way that you would have to do this the traditional way, then this is, if you've never tried this before, it's well worth a try. Anybody, if you can hold a pen, then you can do Groovi, young or old. That was going to be my next question. My next question was going to be, what age can you start Groovi? Well, so long as you can hold. I mean, the tool itself, it's a case of, a parent would decide when a child is responsible to sort of handle that tool. But as far as actually being able to emboss from the Groovi plate, I think the youngest child that I've heard of is 3 years old. So I was thinking, supervision. My little one's 3 now. She's currently having dinner. I rang her before we came on air, and she can hold a pen. She can draw photos. She can draw pictures. So with my supervision, all she has to do is just follow the line that's underneath. Correct. Yeah, that tries. And do you know what? The little ones love it as well because it's kind of like magic drawing. When you kind of,
you're just getting the white line, aren't you?
Yeah.
I don't know whether you remember the kit many years ago, where like kind of magic painting, where all of a sudden something would
Pictures
sort of
came
appear.
up, yeah.
And it's like that because this isn't a pen, it's got no ink on it or any such thing, you know. But all of a sudden we've got this beautiful kind of image that appears. So.
And with the thing with Groovi, it comes together so quick.
Yeah, it really does. As I say, to do this the traditional way, it would just take, you know, such a long time. It probably wouldn't be as accurate as well. So yeah, also it's a very portable craft as well, because everything that you need to do Groovi will actually fit in a carrier bag as well. So lightweight, portable, and actually the only consumable within the Groovi craft is your parchment, because your tools, when you've got them, so long as obviously you look after them. Your plates, again, look after them. Once you've got them, you've got them. They're not going to wear out. You've got them forever. So there's literally only your parchment that you're ever going to actually sort of top up on.
Which is amazing to do. And remember, now Maria's gone through the whole plate, so we're doing the whole design for this one. But if you just wanted to take the elements out, so maybe you just wanted the fairy.
Yep.
Just sitting down, and then you go to another plate and you can pop in another plate, and maybe she's sitting at the bottom of your card, maybe she's sitting in the corner of your card, propped up against the spine of the card. It's entirely up to you what elements you use.
Very much so, and I am going to be doing quite a bit of mixing and matching sort of throughout tomorrow as well with the demos. I just want to do one and just show sort of straight from the plate,
it's nice to see.
if you like, for sort of you know an introduction to the beautiful collection really. There we go. So you can see all I'm doing here is just literally working my way around that beautiful design. As you say, I could add bits in, I could leave stuff off if I wanted to, but we're going for the whole design. So I can jump forward a little bit now. Okay.
Before you jump forward,
yes,
is it possible for those people that have detergents, we can have a quick look at the starter
I'd
kit
love to.
that's already in there. So this is a brand new one. I'll open this one up.
Yeah. Okay.
And let's open it up and see what we actually get. What it does, so if you're a starter kit, this is what you are going to get. Then I've got to remind me someone about asking about the light box, in case I forget. Because I have a question about that as well. So, first of all, obviously yours won't come mounted, but very special. So these are the tools that we get. These are tools.
So what we've got is two double-ended tools, and you can see there that they are labelled 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And then we've got the tumble dryer sheets, okay, because not everybody has a tumble dryer, and that'll last for a long time. That tumble dryer sheet. Okay, so that's the tools, the basic tools to get you started.
So the tumble drying sheet is there, it's like the lubrication as it were, so it's smooth.
Exactly.
Oh, see, I have been listening to Paul and Barbara.
There you go, so you just glide around your parchment with
so
the
that's
tool.
So that's our first thing. Okay. Then in there,
a full pack of parchment. So it's not, although this is a starter kit, you're actually getting a full pack of 20 sheets, excellent quality parchment in there as well.
So we get a full pack of parchment in there as well. Then there are, there's loads in there.
Yeah, okay.
4 Groovi plates.
Yeah, turn upside, the other way around. There you go.
Oh.
Wonderful. Now this is super, super useful, this plate. So what we've got here is various, we've got shorelines, we've got hills, we've got mountains, we've got rocky bits, we've got suns and moons, different sizes. Very, very useful indeed.
Then
we've got the clever trees. Now these are very cool because what you've got is 3. So you can use 1, 2, or 3, but also within those trees, if you look at them carefully, you've got twiggy trees. Now you might want to do a winter tree, okay? Just do it white with glitter, so it's a Christmas tree. And then you might want to go with just some of those beautiful leaves. So we're starting off, it's spring or even autumn if the leaves are starting to drop. And then you've got the beautiful mantles then around the trees so they can be full, beautiful, bushy summer trees.
I like this kit.
Yeah.
I spoke about this kit a lot, but I've never actually been through it.
There you go. So then we've got the nested squares. So these are fab. So we've talked about, you know, how it's good to be able to frame your work, whether you want to start with a frame or whether you want to end with a frame. You can make aperture frames with this, and they are different sizes to the other frames that we've got on the show, the larger plates. So these, you're just going to extend the sizes of your squares. And then also, now this is a more recent addition to the starter kit here. So this is our inset. It's kind of an adapter because we introduced a set of, or a series of what we call baby plates. So they're smaller designs. So what this will do, the actual frame itself, that will sit within the plate mate, which we're going to look at in a second, and then that will enable you to use your smaller A6 square stroke baby plates within the plate mate as well.
So if you've been watching some of the Groovi shows, Barbara bought us some a couple of months back with the birds in. They were the baby plates.
That's right.
So they will now fit into there.
Yeah, indeed. And the numbers on there as well, incidentally, the font is the same font, which you'll see in a second, on the plate mate. So it all matches in really nicely.
Remember the font, remember the font.
Remember the font.
A full guide.
Yes.
I know it's upside down, but it's a full guide on how to use this. Double-sided, all pictures as well.
It is. So it's not just instructions, it's actually a double-sided project sheet, because there you've got 2 full-size projects. And it's all been done. These projects are designed by Artina Cox. Words and pictures tells you which tool to use, and then talks a little bit about white work, a little bit about colouring, suggestions. And then on the other side, then you've got another design there as well. And the only things that you would need to add to this starter kit to create those projects is if you've got some colouring pencils, and if you've got some coloured paper that you might want to put behind them. Other than that, every element on those designs has come from this starter kit.
There's still more in there as well.
Yeah.
Then we've got the actual plate itself.
So this is the plate mate. So the idea of the plate mate is, rather than have your single plate, you need to secure your parchment down when you're working on there, okay? So what this gives you is a flat, larger flat working surface. So they all slot in there, really lovely. You've also then got your alphabet there as well, beautiful fonts, uppercase, lowercase. This is a really good piece of kit.
All your little boxes to put your letters in,
Indeed,
if you wanted to as well.
And then what we've got then is a double-sided black mat. So one side is just your sort of regular craft mat, and then we've got the side with the kind of, it's a dense foam. So that's kind of a magic side, if you like, because that's what we use. When you see the beautiful sort of white work, for example, on the wings of our fairies, when you see those, the foam side of this mat is what's been used with the tools to be able to do that beautiful white work.
Everything you need in here.
Yes.
Everything you need to start
immediately
parching.
You can produce those 2 beautiful projects.
That's, as you say, it is immediate as well, because you have got everything that's in there. Now it's on 2 flexible payments for this as well. This is the deluxe starter kit. It's £54.99, but it's £27.50 across 2 flexible payments. If you are going for those flexible payments, whatever else you pop in your basket will also be split onto 2 flexi buys as well. It's worth picking up. It really, really is, because you get everything that you need to start your parching journey with here. What I was going to ask about the light box as well before we get, obviously you're using a light box during the show. If we're going for the starter kit, does that also mean we need a light box to start? No,
it doesn't. What we say is it's desirable but not essential.
Okay,
so
that's good.
Because when we first launched the Groovi system, we didn't have the light panels. So let me show you the difference, okay? So you can see, for example, here, you can see the design through the parchment with the light panel. Yeah. Okay. So if I turn the light panel off, all right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer my plates onto my black mat instead. All right, and then I'm going to pop the parchment down. So if you now have a look, okay, you can still see, see that? Okay, so, and if I move it, there you go, that'll make it more visible, because I've already done the design, haven't I? Look, so you can still see the design, okay? It's just that the light panel, the light panel is very useful, okay? First of all, we've introduced a beautiful range of coloured parchments. So if it's quite dark parchment, particularly if it's black or a really deep colour, it's much easier to be able to see through that parchment. Also, for anybody that maybe struggles a little bit with their eyesight, a little bit of illumination is really good. Where it's very useful for me is because Groovi is the only craft that I'll do in the living room. So I'm still being sort of sociable, if you like. But Pete, my husband, and Amber, they like the light down, okay? So I've got this
so you can always see.
It fits on a lap tray, so I can still polish. Also, it's got 3 different levels of illumination. So if you want a tiny bit, that's great. If you want middle, or if you want bright, full illumination, you've got the control over that. As far as how we power the light panel, you've got choices, because it's got a USB connection.
Yes.
So at the moment mine is plugged into the mains, but also the power banks that people, they're becoming very, very popular now, and a lot of people in the Groovi Worldwide Facebook group are catching on to the old power bank. So that you use to charge your phone and whatnot, so they will also charge your light panel as well. So
it's worth having a look. As we're saying, it's not necessary, you don't need one straight away to start your crafting journey. It's desirable but not essential. You see, £62.98, also on flexible payments as well. 436518 is your item number. Ryan, let's get back to the one-day special where we left off. I like it.
Right, okay, so we've got the design on the parchment. So shall I show you that? Just literally white embossed. If I give that to you while I grab my embossing mat. So I mean, it's so crisp and beautiful, isn't it? If you show that from the front, of
Sorry, those must me just admiring it.
From the front. Now, never mind keeping it to yourself.
I know.
There you go. Isn't that beautiful?
Look at that.
Now, if you were to do that freehand, can you imagine how long that would take?
You'd never be able to do it,
oh
though.
My goodness, no.
Not the crispness and the crystal clearness that you've got there. You'd never be able to do that by freehand.
No. Okay.
Never in a million years.
All right. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to do a little bit of white work.
Okay.
Now, so we talked about the black mat that's in the starter kit.
Yes.
But what I've got here is pink, excellent embossing mat from Pergamano, because Claritystamp, who, Groovi, own Pergamano now as well. So it's part of the company. Now, this is particularly good for anybody who is heavy-handed, because it stops you using too much pressure.
Okay.
Because this is the part now where you do have to slow yourself down and just have a little bit of patience and go gently, gently, gently. Okay.
Okay. Makes sense.
So as I'll put one of the mats over at the side. I'll put you some goodies in case you
wanted
to
look at these.
check stuff out. I've given you your own little Pergamano department over there.
If only I could take all
that. I was going to say, I'm going to be counting it all back in after the show.
It would be. Oh, Barbara, if you're watching, can I? Am I allowed a full set? You do get your mat. It also comes in the tube as well. Is this how you would store it?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to store it that way, because then, see, mine actually got crushed, I'll be honest, and I've got glitter on mine and bits and bobs, so I do wish that I still had my tube. To be honest, if you've got the tube, if it comes in the tube, do, protect it, look after the mat. But, it's a bit of glitter isn't going to harm it, okay?
You've got pens, you've got pencils.
We have, yeah, and we'll come on to all of that. So the mat's got 2 sides. So on one side, it says Pergamano, all right, on here, and it's kind of a little bit textury, all right?
Yeah.
But as far as which side is the correct side to use, you use whichever side that you like. What I discovered quite early on from Tina Cox, whose work is very, very beautiful, she prefers to use the back, which is a smoother side.
Okay.
She just prefers the look from that. So I've taken my lead from that. Tina's been doing this for a long time and her work's lovely, so if it's good enough for her, I'm going to have a go as well. All right. So as far as tools, now this is where if you're on the starter kit, you would change up your tools. So you would go for number 3 or number 4, but again, I've got my Pergamano tools because I'm a little bit further along in my parchment journey. So we've got choices. Now on the website, we've got various embossing tools. So we've got, let me take these out of my case from here. Okay, so we've got ball tools, all right, which now there's a pack here where you've already seen me use number 1. So we've got 1 mil, and I've used that to actually transfer the artwork from the plates onto the parchment. Yeah. Okay. And then we've got a 1.5 there as well. Now 1.5, you can, this is this one here, you can also use that one to transfer your artwork as well. The difference is you're going to get a softer, more muted white.
Okay.
All right. Then what we've got here is number 3. Here you go. This one, let me push them out like that. Okay. So this one is a 3mm ball tool. Then we've got 4.5, which is this one here. Okay. And then this big one is the 6mm, okay? So those are all very, very useful. And when I tend to use the ball tools, is if I'm going to do kind of a more solid white colouring in. But then we've got the choice of the shaders as well. So a large and a small of the shaders. Now these tend to be what I use if I want a more gradient of white. So if I want the bright white and then to fade down softly, if you like. So I tend to use those.
You'll find these on the website though. If you shop by brand, they're all on the website for you. Brought in the details for the ball tools. But if you shop by brand for these ones as well, you'll find them on there. So let's see them in action.
Okie dokie. All right. So I'm going to come in with one of my shader tools. All right. And we're going to have a little look at these sort of floral areas up here. Now you might think that that tool is too big for those areas, but actually it isn't. Okay. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to very lightly just feather. Now I'm not pressing hard at all, and you might not see very much happen at all. That's a good thing. What we don't want to do is make this too white too soon, because what it will do is buckle the parchment. So this is where we press gently, gently, gently. Okay, so you can see there, can you see the white here just started? If I turn that over to the front, okay, you might be able to see that a little bit more. So just here where the tool is.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you can see it's very subtle, isn't it? It's very subtle. But if you look at the one, the little area, so you can see there's no white here, but it's very soft. And at home, what I tend to do, that is as far as I would go with my white on all around my design, okay? And then I would leave it for 24 hours, but I would work on several projects at once.
Okay.
All right? And then, so then what we've got is these little flowers. So let's have a look at those, because they've got the tiny little sensors. Now those, because they're tiny, I do risk it and make those really white. Because they're only diddy, I can go in and I can make those white much faster. So I'm going to come in now with the 1.5 ball tool rather than the shader tool, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to go side by side, up and down, and then up and down, side by side, and then in a circle. The reason I don't go in a circle is because you end up with like a little black dot in the middle.
Oh, okay.
We call it the black hole or the donut, and the reason for that is because your ball tools are actually curved. So the middle, you might think that the whole of that tool is making contact with the parchment, but it actually isn't. Okay. So again, even tiny ones like this, I still side by side, up and down, and then in a circle. So you'll see from the front that those now are, they're really beautiful and bright white, those, aren't they?
Look at that.
Yeah, okay. And already they really look, they're quite gorgeous, aren't they? I like those.
They are nice. And it's so easy. It's, to look at it, you would think, I could never do that.
Yeah, but
all you're really doing is you're just going up and down, left and right, and around and around.
But also the thing is with Groovi, you don't have to do white work if you don't want to. You know, everyone can stay within their own comfort zone. If you just want to colour this, you can do.
Well, it's like as Barbara says, when we have Barbara Gray here, it's a journey. It's like a bus trip. You get on that bus and you start. This is your starting point. This is the terminus. You get on the bus here with your starter kit. Once you get on that bus, it is then down to you to where you want to get off.
That's exactly right.
If you want to get off at the first stop and just trace, that's perfectly fine. Then, when you're happy enough to get back on the bus, get back on the bus and go to the next stage of maybe changing your plates. Then get to the next stop and start your white work. Then start your colouring. It's a journey that goes on, I'm not going to lie, for a few miles. And miles. But there is so much that you can do. And nearly a quarter of the stock of your one-day special, people either starting their journey today or they're continuing on their journey. £31.95 and 699382 is your item number.
Okay, so let's imagine then that we've done lots of lovely white work on here, okay? So the next thing that I would do is some colouring, okay? And I do tend to do the white work first. You can add colour, add white work after you've done colouring. The thing is, it's easy to do it beforehand because you can see you haven't got any colour to have to sort of see through, if you like. So I tend to do white work first. So this is where now we need to move to the solid side,
the harder side of your board.
Of your mat. And the reason for that is because your parchment, when we come in now with pens or pencils and we're going to apply pressure, the parchment doesn't know that that's a pen or a pencil, it just knows something is embossing it.
Okay.
So what you can find is you'll do some really, really beautiful, vibrant work on the back, but when you turn it over,
to white.
It's white, okay? So it needs to be on a solid surface.
Good little
tip. As far as what we can use to colour, okay, you haven't actually got to have anything specific if you're just starting out. But when you realise that you really love Groovi and you want to, you know, have some nice sort of luxury goodies, then the Perga colouring range is really lovely. So we've got Perga liner pencils, and we've also got the Perga colour exclusives. The pencils tend to, the colours a little bit more sort of pastel-y, whereas the pens tend to be a little bit more vivid. So it's literally a case of how much colour do you want.
Okay.
All right.
Which ones?
So we're going to go with some pencils here.
Pencils first.
Now within the pencils, what you've got is 20 A pencils, and they're labelled A. So think A for aqua, they're water soluble, so you can blend them with water. However, do be cautious with your water because parchment doesn't like to get wet. So very, very slightly damp paintbrush if that's the route you're going to go. And then also what you've got is you've got the B pencils, which are B blendable. So we can blend those with Dorso oil, okay? So that's what I'm going to use. All right, so I'm going to colour on the back. There's always exceptions to the rule where you can go in from the front and whatnot, but to begin with, I always recommend anybody new get used to it on the back, because the beauty of colouring on the back is, let's say, for example, we go over the edges, the lines, from the front, it's a lot neater, okay? So it's a lot more forgiving. All right, so let's go in. Let's do a little kitty cat. So I'm going to use a B pencil, and I'm just literally just going to pop some colour on. I'm not trying to do any clever colouring at the moment. I just want to get a little bit of colour on there, and then we'll blend in a minute, okay? There we go. And we can go in, just, you know, if you're nervous of colouring, just go with one colour, or you might want to go in and add a couple of colours. It's completely up to you. So I've got another brown in here, kind of a paler brown. So look, we could go in and add another brown, and then we're going to blend it in a minute. Okay, so just gentle sort of pencil strokes here. Okay, so you can see it's not ever so neat, but it will be soon. It will be soon. So we're just laying the colour on. Right, let's have a little look on our fairy. Okay, so let's go with some oranges and reds. These will be quite nice. So I'm going to come in on a dress. Let's just put a little bit of a darker colour down here first of all, and then we'll come in with a lighter colour. And again, I'm not pressing hard here. Oh, is that a leg or is that a skirt? No, it's all right, it's not. That's still a skirt. Okay, they say she's going to have a very strange coloured leg. It's all right, false alarm. Okay, so just going to pop that colour in here, and then I'm going to smooth it all out and make it look pretty in a moment. There we go. So just pop the colour out. These blend really nicely. Also, these pencils and the pens as well are not just for parchments.
Okay.
These are my go-to sort of colouring items now. Again, these are always on my desk. They don't get put away because they're great if you rubber stamping projects and whatnot. Because don't forget, Claritystamp is a stamping company.
Yes,
you know, that's the core product. Right, here we go. Let's have a look at that. So to blend, so what I've got here is my Dorso oil, and then I'm going to look for one of my sponges. Let's have a little root.
You see, there's so much you can do when you get this home as well. And once again, as I said, it's about a bus journey, and I like this analogy for the sheer fact that you can start. If I've had a go with Groovi, and I did it live on telly. If I can do it live on television, I think it was me and you.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember.
You're my first groovy that I did. If I can do it live on television, we've never done it before, you can do it in your own comfort of your home as well. What we're going to do is, before we go into the blending,
we're going to have an update.
We're going to have a little update. We're very busy across the board. They are available individually as well if you want them. So maybe your budget won't go for the one-day special. You can get them individually as well. It's entirely up to you what you want to go for, depending on your budget that you want to go for as well. There's so many things online that you can find. You've got that beautiful starter kit, you've got parchment on there, you've got the light board on there as well that we were looking at. You've got all your accessory kits on there, you've got your tools on there as well. The mat that we were talking about, the tweezers, the Pico scissors. 5-star reviews on everything. Remember, we use Clarity and Groovi that we are talking about here as well. Your pens, pencils. The possibilities are endless when we talk about Groovi. And I know I keep saying it, but it is a journey. Start the journey maybe today. With everything that's going on in the world lately, and it's just nice to get away. It's nice to get away and go into your own little world. That little world where it's just you. Maybe it's just you for 10 minutes. Maybe it's you just for 5 minutes, because that's all you get. The kids are running riot, you've just put them to bed, you settle yourself down, and maybe you just trace, because that is all you're doing. You're just tracing. But you're not only tracing, you're following the groove. Once you follow the groove, do not fear. If you jump out, you won't mark the work. You won't. I know it's hard to get your head around unless you've had a go, because that's what I thought. I thought, live television, if I come out, I'm going to put a big score down, and they all say it's so easy. Don't get me wrong, I jumped out that groove, but I didn't mark. I did not mark that plate. And I carried on, and I did a bit more, and I did a bit more, and then I stopped. My journey so far has only been tracing. My next journey will be white work. Then Pico cutting maybe later on, colouring. There is so much you can do, and then you get to standards like this. But this is not done freehand. This is all done by using the plates. The plates that are here today. You are getting 5 plates for the price of 4. £31.95, and a quarter of the stock has now already gone. Look how different. So that is on normal parchment, just white parchment. That is on coloured parchment. It's exactly the same plate, but look how different they look. A quarter of the stock has already gone here. You can go big, you can go small. It's entirely up to you what you want to go for. There are so many samples that I can show you here. Some with glitter, some that have been just using the small words and maybe one of the slight little pixies from around the edge. £31.95, 699382 is your item number for your brand new one-day special. And when you get this one-day special home, here's a few more samples that you will be able to create. Right then, let's go back to blending. So we've done the tracing, we've done the white work, we've worked how to use the crayon, well the pencils, you know what I mean. But it looks good, but the one that you've got next to you in this finished sample, it doesn't look as grainy.
That's right. Okay.
How do we get, because obviously these are done with the same pencils that you've used, and yours the same once again, looks really grainy. It doesn't look like, so how do we achieve this?
Okay, so what we've got is our Dorso oil, all right? And I'm just going to put one little drop onto a sponge. Okay. This is going to last a long, long time. All right, now I've got a blending pen, Pergamon blending pen. We've got the nibs that come. On the website, that comes as a set. You've got 23 nibs there, okay, which is cool.
There's the tweezers, and you get the tweezers as well. £12.43.
Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do here now, I'm going to dip this into my sponge, just one tiny little dip. Now already I've got too much on there, because if I come over here, can you see how wet that is? Yeah. So what you'll find is, see that, get rid of some of that, because what you'll find is if you've got too much oil on your blending nib, and as well as blend your colour, you'll actually lift it off.
Okay.
Right? Which is a good thing to know if you do a boo-boo. And you need to remove some, because you can do that, all right? So it's a good thing to know. Just get plenty of oil on there and you can remove it. You know, it's good to know. But if you just want to blend the colour, then do get rid of, there you go. Look, it's still going, it's still going, it's still going, all right? This is going to dry clear as well. Don't worry about that on your, even on your work. All right, so I'm going to come in now, and then let's come into this light colour and just going to blend it, blend it, blend it. And then I'll blend the colours actually together. So you can see now all those sort of grainy pencil lines. See, they've gone. So let me blend this down here. I'm just going to do the light colour first.
So do you stick with the same colour per nib?
Yeah, you can do, but sometimes if I use an older nib, what I tend to get is a really cool contamination, and I get a colour that there's no way I could have made, and I really like it actually. So, but yeah, I mean, if you've got 23 nibs, then you can use one for each colour, can't you? And then a couple just for your blending. Right, so then with the red, I want to kind of drag that into the yellow. So what I'm going to do there, look, is literally just drag that in to the other colour. Okay, go a little circle, just blend this out and just drag that up. See how far that colour goes?
It really does.
How far yeah, and then if it got too much, so I'm going to come up here, get rid of a little bit of that colour, and then come in, just because I don't want to completely cover that lovely white colour, lovely pale colour. So see how much softer, and also see how more vibrant that colour is as well.
Amazing now,
yeah, so same on here, so we can just drag that colour into the lighter colour. Yeah, and then now if you find that your colour stops sort of moving for you, it becomes a little bit more stubborn, then it's time to have another dip back in your sponge and pick up a little bit more oil. But again, go through the same process of getting rid of some before you come onto your project. Here we go. So just soften this all down like so. Okay, so I'm going to change a nib now. Let's come on to the kitties. Let's do a bit blending with the kitties. So again, I'm going to take a little dip and get rid of some of that colour, that dorso oil.
It picks it a lot up quick, doesn't it?
It really does, and only give it a tiny, tiny little dab. All right, so again, I'm going to come in with the lighter colour, just soften the pencil lines, and then I'm going to come in with the darker colour. There we go. And then we're just going to get this really cool blend. There we go.
And once again, this really come to life when we turn it around.
Yeah, I'm going to turn it over any second. We've just done this kitty, and then we can compare where I've actually blended and where I haven't, and you'll see. There we go, that'll do. We don't want that too perfect, because kitty cat's fair is, you know, it's kitty cat's fair, isn't it? Right, so if I turn that over to the front, there you go. So you can see it's much nicer from the front, isn't it? It's smooth, it's blended, really pretty. And then you can see the kitty that I didn't blend. You can still see through. It's grainy, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
And this one as well. Whereas the kitty that I did blend and the fairy's dress is beautiful and smooth and lovely.
It is amazing how to blend. Once again, it's so simple to do that people would be scared of. If you break it down, though, it's not that difficult.
No, it isn't. Well, the thing is, I don't get a lot of time to do colouring in. I would love to be able to sit and colour and do, you know, spend hours perfecting it. I don't have that time, so it's got to be easy for me. It's not something that I've got a particular skill in. So if I can do that, honestly, it's got to be easy, really and truly.
It's good to know.
All right.
Good to know.
Okay, so what should we do? What have we got time for? Should we do?
We've got 4.5 minutes.
4.5 minutes. Well, we could do some perforating if you want, or do you want to do some perforating?
Let's do perforating. Let's start with perforating.
Cool. Rightio. So what I'll do with the perforating, we'll come on to over here.
The
what
wings.
Karen's done for me is she's done some wings, because if you look at the finished piece, we've got these beautiful wings that stand up. So we've got the wings on the actual flat piece that behind, yeah, there you go, beautiful, coloured and white work. And then we've got the added on wings. Yeah, really nice. They're so lovely.
Beautiful. Really
beautiful. Okay, so what Karen's done for me is she has done me some layers. So she's embossed the wings onto parchment, and she's done different layers of white work for me as well. So you'll see here, she's done one layer of the white. So you know we were talking about leaving it to rest.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then you can see then this one gets a little bit whiter. So this has then had the second layer and been left to rest, and then this one has had a third layer and been, so you can see it's getting whiter and whiter each time, isn't it? And
more, I know this is not correct English, but it's more raised.
Yeah, it is actually, yeah, but it's not buckled. And then this one here, where Karen has perforated for me, that's got another layer. And a little tip, and I'm sure Karen won't mind me saying this as well, what you can do as well, you can add at the back, once you've done your white work, you can add a little bit of white pencil as well, because in the Pergaliner pencils, there's white, you can add a little bit more to make it a little bit whiter as well.
It looks like the whiter work is...
Yeah.
Oh, you said a little hint and tip.
There you go. All, you know, these little things that make life easier. So perforating. So now this is where I now use my black mat from the start. Exactly, because I don't emboss with that now. I use my pink excellent mat.
Oh, okay.
So this has now got a different use. It's not redundant, it's got a different use for me. Okay, so I'm going to come in now. All the work so far has been done on the back. All right, so we've done the embossing from the plates from the back, we've done the white work from the back, and we've done the colour from the back. This is now where we need to come in from the front. So I'm looking for my Groovi guard. It's here, because I haven't moved, have I? It's here. I do this at home, and there you go, see? It's always somewhere close by. Rightio. So, perforating. So what we're going to do is use a 2 needle. Now I use a 2 needle bold because there is also a 2 needle fine, all right? Which is, for me, it's a bit more challenging. It's got its place, absolutely, but I like to use the bold. So let's start it here, okay? So what we do, the reason that it's got 2 needles instead of 1 is because as we work along here, we're going to start by just making 2 holes. Now, as I move along, I'm only going to make 1 fresh hole. So one of my needles is going to go back in the last hole that I made. Let me use one of the smaller apertures. There we go. And the reason that we only make 1 fresh hole as we go along is because then what we know is the distance between those perforations is exactly. And this is the foundation to you getting the lovely neat picots when you cut. Also, you'll notice that my tool is nice and upright when it actually comes down into the parchment, because again, if you come in at, you know, at an angle like this, then what's going to happen is you can end up with raggy perforations, but also the distance between them can be altered. If you have trouble sort of locating the previous hole to come in like this, what you can do is come in at an angle. So if I come in and I locate that last hole, that's okay to do that, so long as before you then perforate, you come back upright. There you go. So if I show you again, so I can come in and grab the hole, and then I'm going to bring the tool upright before I actually perforate. Yeah?
Right then, we've only got 20 seconds left of this out. We'll continue
we've got
this.
Hour. I'm going to cover all sorts.
We'll finish this at 9 o'clock this evening as well. Remember, it's a one-day special. It'll go all tomorrow as well for the 3 hours that we've got tomorrow. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
I thoroughly enjoy Groovi. I really, really do. Check out your baskets. I don't want you to miss out on this. It's very busy.